Okay, so I wanted to do an early review on RoboCop Rogue City. This might actually be the last review I do on it. Still very, very early in on the game, but I think I have it locked down. I think I know what it is. Like, I understand what type of game it is at this point. The closest thing I can compare it to is the new Deus Ex games. Human Revolution and Mankind Divided is basically what it is, I feel like. There's a lot of differences, but we're gonna say, just in terms of the way the game works, operates, same exact thing. You're given it's not open world. It's like a hub area with, smaller individual combat levels spread throughout. That's what Human Revolution was. That's what Mankind Divided was. And that's the same feeling I'm getting from this game. Is there's a hub area you can explore, there's stuff you can find, people you can interact with, side missions you can find, yada yada. Yeah, that's basically what this is. But a lot of big differences, obviously. Deus Ex is more about giving you options on how to approach combat encounters. This game is the exact opposite. You're just fucking RoboCop, and you just march in and fucking massacre criminal scum. Both are good. Me personally, I prefer being RoboCop as opposed to Adam Jenkins, or whatever the fuck his name was, from Deus Ex. He did that growl, like that Solid Snake growl. I'm Adam Jenkins. You kind of sound like Christian Bale's Batman. Gay. But no, I love those games. I think the Codex hates them. I'm not sure. But this is kind of the same idea. Big hub area, not necessarily open world, but big hub area where you can kind of just run around and do your own thing. And light RPG mechanics, CNC, choice and consequence. They're similar in that way, in that regard. And there's random shit laying around. And, there's RPG systems, kind of, like, you can upgrade. You got skills that you upgrade. So they're the same in that way. But from a gameplay perspective, completely different. Deus Ex is all about letting you, you can be stealthy, you can do this, you can do that. RoboCop can't do any of that shit. RoboCop can't crouch, he can't jump, he just walks slow, he's a walking tank, and he just blows heads off. And rips heads off and punches motherfuckers to death. It's all about what you like. I prefer being RoboCop. So this game is better than those games by default. As far as character stuff goes, the dialogue's kind of cringe. It's not great. You know, you can tell it's a lower budget game, but the environments look great. Just speaking specifically for the environments, as far as environments go, it looks like a AAA game. But, you know, then you see the, like, the facial animations of the characters that you're talking to and the voice acting, then it's very apparent you're not playing a AAA game. It's fine. The gameplay is top-notch. So far, I'm invested in the side missions. They're interesting. They're fun. But yeah, the combat in playing as RoboCop, obviously the biggest showpiece. That's the reason why you play the fucking game. As far as RoboCop himself, the character, there's an interesting thing. Well, let's bring this up. There's been a RoboCop resurgence. And I want to say it started with Red Letter Media's re-review of RoboCop 2. Yeah, I know they're not like the biggest YouTube channel on planet Earth, but they do have some influence. And I feel like if you combine that with this new release, there's been a pretty decent-sized RoboCop resurgence in terms of popularity. Like, people are back into RoboCop. And I always loved RoboCop 2. And there's a weird thing going on with his character in this game where... And they brought this up in the Red Letter Media re-review, that RoboCop 2 is basically a reset. Because, like, at the end of RoboCop 1, Alex Murphy, he's not really RoboCop anymore. At the end of the movie, he knows who he is. He kind of finds his humanity again. And then RoboCop 2 is a total reset. He's just RoboCop again. He's just a product of OCP. And you go later into that movie, and he gets fucked with by OCP mentally, or how, like, his programming gets fucked with. And that's when you get the scene with the baseball team, the little kids robbing the store, and RoboCop is completely retarded. And it sort of feels like his character in this game, it feels like a mishmash of that combined with how he's normally supposed to be, like in the first film, in the early parts of Part 2. And I think that has more to do with the choice and consequence stuff. Like, you can't really... Being that it's a video game and there's all sorts of directions you can take the character as a player, it kind of creates a weird thing, like a weird dynamic where... Yeah, the character... I'm speaking specifically cutscenes-wise. It doesn't feel quite right. Like, sometimes he feels like genuine, normal RoboCop. Other times it feels like he's the reprogrammed retard in the middle section of RoboCop 2. It's kind of a weird thing. But it's fine. It's a video game. Who gives a fuck? This isn't... Actually, I want to say that I would be happy to consider this the official sequel to RoboCop 2. Anything is better than RoboCop 3. But what I'm talking about is just minute bullshit. It's a fucking video game. I don't take video games seriously, story-wise anymore. There's a very select few. Like I can count on one hand video game stories that I take seriously. This isn't one of them. There might not ever be another one. But just as far as a video game goes, it's Game of the Year. This is the Game of the Year 2023. Because you're fucking RoboCop. They nailed the feeling, the fucking sounds of the footsteps, the power of his semi-automatic pistol. That's the only gun I use. I never switch to the other guns. Why the fuck would I? That would be wrong. It's like sacrilege. I only use his fucking iconic handgun. I don't switch to any other guns. I don't pick up any of the other guns. Why would I? That would be gay and retarded. Peter Weller's there voicing Murphy, and he's an old man now, but he does a good enough job. The gameplay is the star of the show. Playing as RoboCop, just fucking massacring, destroying criminals. It's phenomenal. But, running around in the semi-open world-ish hub area is also fun. And, just coming across side quests and stuff, very similar, like I said, to Human Revolution and Mankind Divided. It's a lot of fun. It's those games, but you're RoboCop. You can't crouch, you can't stealth, you can't jump, you can't do nothing except fucking murder everything in sight. And it's wonderful.